Well, welcome to day 30 of Mastering Astral Projection, and we're actually one-third of the way through. So today's program is the same as yesterday's, except for instead of doing the elevator technique, we're doing a ladder. So the idea is that there is a wall. As before, it can be a brick wall or a dirt wall with rocks in it, whatever you think is appropriate, so that when you're descending this endless ladder downward, this wall is going up in front of you and you can focus on it. No need for doing numbers associated with an elevator or anything like that. This is to lead you deeper into the trance state. I was having sleep issues with my practice today. I was drifting in and out of the sleep state, the dream state actually. So I just happened to be listening to a talk with Robert Bruce today, and he was saying that the dream state is in the mental realm and the astral state is the emotional realm. Actually, he didn't use the word emotional, but I know that other people talk about the astral state being the emotional body. There's a separation that happens. Basically, you have the physical body, and then you have the etheric body. Etheric body is that very thin layer that rises just above the level of the skin and just below the level of the skin. And this is where the Chinese have the meridians running, and that's why when they acupuncture, they stick needles into this area. And in the East Indian system, the concept of prana, which is the same as qi in the Chinese Eastern system. This is the energy level that the etheric body is the energy level that is the counterpart to the physical body. When you experience energetic sensations, you're experiencing in the etheric, and the astral body is tied to the etheric body at certain points when the exit for astral projection or an out-of-body experience is happening. But the dream realm is the mental body, in that there's this fuzzy line where when you're astral projecting, you are inhabiting part of the mental body and part of the astral body. The astral world exists in the astral realm, but you can also be using parts of the mental body as part of your construct. And this is the division between dreaming and astraling. So when you're dreaming, you're in the mental, and this is theory because nobody really knows, but I would say that the subconscious mind has a relationship to both the astral body and the causal body, or the emotional body and the mental body, because it's relying upon things that have happened in the past to create processes to happen inside of your being that create emotional triggers that have an emotional response. So when you're dreaming, there's this process of patterning taking place based on the subconscious mind, where subconscious kind of percolates certain ideas or thoughts based on what happened during the day to the top of the stack, as it were, where the mental body picks up on that and creates imagery to support it, so that it can work out what didn't get worked out, or replay in a symbolic way something that the emotional body is trying to bring balance to. So when you are moving into the dream state, if you can be lucid in the dream and know that you're dreaming, you can transfer the dream state, the lucid dream state, into the astral state by command. We haven't gotten to that in the book yet, but we'll get to that at some point where we start talking about particular commands that you use during your astral experience or your lucid dream state experience to control the environment around you or control your action within it. So the fact that I was falling asleep and moving into this dream state means that I wasn't going into the astral body. I was moving into the mental body where the dream state's taking place, and I was having these dream images, and I was slipping back and forth in between the two. For me, this is my Achilles heel. I have the dream state down. I just don't have the astral state down. So differentiating the two is actually part of my quest. And so we'll talk about the slight discomfort that he recommends. So during this week's trance practice, he really puts a lot of emphasis on creating some discomfort. We talked about a little bit yesterday about sitting on a harder chair, feeling the sits bones on the chair. One of the reasons that you need to create discomfort, though, is to stop yourself from falling asleep, because it's really easy. The body's used to doing this. You've got, however many years you've been alive worth of patterning that that says that when you close your eyes and it's dark, you sleep. So he talks about avoiding sensory deprivation. So he doesn't want people to be shutting out light and sound and smell as much as possible, because it's actually these senses that will help to keep you awake. So he would rather you be able to have a astral experience in an environment that has something going on in it, so that when you become more proficient in astral projecting, you're not stuck with having to have a completely silent, completely dark environment where there are no triggers, because then, well, how often do you get that? Is the problem. But he also doesn't, on the flip side, he doesn't want you to also become the type of person that can do any of this work in complete chaos. Okay, I have to get something straight really quick. I listen to a lot of things and I read a lot of things, and I want to make sure I'm sticking to the book as much as possible. But there's this little tidbit of information, and I don't think it came from the book. I actually think it came from somewhere else. Oh, I know. So I read Carl Sagan, because he's a really neat person. It has just a tremendous amount of useful information on awakening the third eye and being in that state. And he says there's a practice you can do where you expand the etheric body, and it allows for an incredibly deep state of rest to occur. And I was just thinking about that. So that was what filtered into my mind while I was thinking. So we're not going to get into that practice, though. We're going to stick to this. So, but if you want to look it up on your own, it's in the book. Well, his website is Clairvision, CLAIRVISION.com or .org, one or the other. You can look up more information there. I'll just say that. One of the things that Robert Bruce emphasizes is being able to get the shadow memory to come back when you do have an astral experience. This is that through excitement, if you've had an astral experience and you want to remember it, so it's just a challenge just to become lucid during the astral experience and know that it's happening. But then what happens is you come back into the physical body and you don't remember it. This is another one of my challenges. So one of the suggestions that he has is if you have your first astral experience, do it for 10 seconds. Don't go any further than that. Return to your body with the command, okay, I'm returning to my body now. But when you do, let the feeling of excitement that you've had the astral experience be pervasive in your being, so that the moment that you jump back into your body, you're bringing the shadow memory of the experience into your physical body with you, so that you will wake up at some point. It may not be right after the astral experience, but it may be later, and you remember it. Okay, so this is critical, and so he also makes note of that. A couple of techniques that he suggests for trying to create a slight amount of discomfort. One would be to use a TV or radio tuned to a non-station, so you're getting white noise. Leave that going in the background. Using a board actually underneath your heels if you're laying in bed. So something that creates a little bit of discomfort underneath your heels can also help. Let's see if there's anything else that really stood out. No. I think to me that was all that really stood out for trying to create discomfort. But the big point is that keep emotional and keep that excitement going inside of you if you have the astral experience. And you know, the sleep thing is just really a challenge. And but it's riding the line. If you listen to a number of spiritual teachers that are trying to give you techniques for moving deeper into a spiritual state of awareness, they all talk about being able to ride that line between sleep and wakefulness. That's really the key, letting the body fall asleep and keeping the mind awake. So if you come up with any useful ideas on how to do that, put them in the comments, because it'd be cool to hear them. So anyway, thanks a lot.